back with more comments from Raised by Wolves from the final episode. This is so much fun. We'll probably continue this throughout the year, just talking about Raised by Wolves stuff because we love this show. Well, yes, we probably do love this show quite a little bit too much. We love the mystery, we love all the unanswered questions, and we love trying to answer them. Let's go.
All right, everyone, welcome back to AsArt with Nick, John, and our special guest and resident expert, Kyle. So we're going to be digging into part 4 of our comments for season 2 as the finale and leading into season 3.
Guys, we have an amazing artist here in our crew. Kyle, he has Instagram, Pecos with a 0. He's coming up with an awesome shirt design for us. So go over to his Instagram to see his progress on the shirt design and maybe even future designs too. Give some comments, give some likes, but we really want to create some cool Raised by Wolves stuff like shirts and stuff. We tried with these bear shirts. Kyle, do you have the bear shirt on today?
I do. Yes, I do.
We've tried, and everything will be available at asart.space. All right, let's jump into these comments. Let's go.
So this comes from Seal in all caps. I feel like the baby's DNA was tampered with by grandmother. So the sea creature thought it was one of them, therefore reclaiming it from Tempest to substitute for its dead baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And something I thought of too. So after I read this comment, it kind of clicked for me where I was like, oh my gosh, remember how they got the leeches, right? They used the sound of like a baby sea creature noise, right, to lure it out of the ocean, and then that's when they got the leeches off of it, and then it was like a sound, right? So if the DNA was changed by grandmother, but the baby crying could have had a similar sound effect to the sea creature, which propelled it or to made it come out of the water to get the baby, to save the baby.
That's true.
Which I just thought was interesting.
And I guess the big question here that a lot of people are curious about is, did mother change the baby when she was still kind of asleep and that scan happened on the helmet and you saw a visible like Tempest jumped, so the assumption was there was something that happened there. That could have been it. Or it could have been later on after the baby was taken with the feeding of the milk. And obviously we don't have a definite answer yet, but that could have been the whole idea. It could have been changed by a grandmother from the very beginning, and that would make sense why that would have drawn her up. Or the mermother was just so desperate for a baby, she was just drawn to that, whether it was an exact thing or not. So, I mean, Tempest and the rest of them thought that baby crying was, the Tempest baby. So maybe the mermother was mistaken as well. So, who knows?
Good point. Go for it, Johnny.
All right, let's see. All right, so L. Smith. I think the entity wanted Paul to burn the cards because it knew grandmother was going to use them to scare people not to listen. And soul/entity would rather have blind obedience, and grandmother would rather have fear-based obedience. Yeah, so thoughts on this, you guys?
Huh.
I think this is because I was saying there's two voices here. Because in my head, it's like one of them wants the cards destroyed and the other one doesn't, kind of thing. And that's what triggered this whole two voices thing for me. And I just thought this was a really good point though, because maybe it's also just going along. We don't know what the main goal is of the core / planet / voice / whatever is, but I just thought that was very good. That was a very good point.
Yeah, very, very fun point too. Just if there are dueling, agendas at play, what are their agendas and how are they going about getting it too?
Yeah. And of course, people are caught in the middle of it, basically.
Always
the chess pieces. All right. Sorry. All right. So Ana Antonio tells us, I think Soul was dormant when mother and father landed on the desert zone. The presence of humans woke him up because he needs humans to build snakes to destroy the planet and be set free. The previous humans on the planet were turned into creatures by their own shepherd androids, who think very much like the Trust. Decided the only way for the humans to escape Soul was to turn them into creatures. Grandmother and Soul are enemies. They don't work together at all. So, I thought that was good because it's kind of like the last thing we were talking about. It's a fight of ideologies or at least like influence, right, of two different things. So,
it's a trip too because we have the technocrats, which became Mithraic, right? That's what the idea is.
Yeah.
And then we had the believers, right? It could be vice versa or something like that. But then it's like something that wasn't part of the equation maybe was the atheist, right? And then we know Campion was one of the few people, if not the only person, to ever reprogram a robot, which was Mother, to have, like from a weapon to be able to have human emotions and all this other stuff too. So maybe this whole atheist thing is like the wild card that's kind of throwing off this, we had their established, left and right, and now it's just like someone's throwing a bowling ball through there to just like burst it out of control.
And one of the points we did get near the end of this last episode in season 2 is that we did get confirmation that, like, hey, the entity is awake because there's humans on the planet, and that's grandmother's whole idea is to devolve them so the entity will go back to sleep. Now I don't know why, if they're devolved, the entity will magically go back to sleep, but we do know that because it's told to us, at least we're assuming that's correct, data, that is, one of the things going on. So that we can, for the most part, kind of take as is probably true. So it's interesting to kind of look at this and like, yeah, that definitely is something that's going on there. And is that why we're getting, all these creatures and stuff like that? Because the humans did crash on the planet and everything's awake again. So it's going to be interesting to see.
What's so funny, Kyle and John? I've been rereading his Dark Materials, and I'm on the third book right now.
Nice.
And when I think of this, I'm like, why am I thinking of dust? And the authority, like, since humans are there, dust is now there, and like, and now it's like waking. I'm like, no, cannot do this, Nick. Stay on Raised by Wolves. By the way, we also covered that show too. We're super excited for the final season coming out, HBO Max. So
getting ready.
So Tueo Brian Wilson, hopefully I got your name pretty close. If I didn't, I apologize. Review Halo on Paramount Plus. Its lore feels similar to Raised by Wolves, ancient aliens, AI, spaceships. It seems to have it all. And I've been reading it. Actually, it does have very good reviews as well. People have been waiting. I think at some point Peter Jackson was going to direct the Halo thing. I think Steven Spielberg has been on since the beginning. He actually is executive producer on this stuff. I mean, granted, he is on a lot of shows, but it's supposed to be getting really good reviews, and that's something that we do have our eyes on a little bit. That we don't have Paramount Plus right now, but we didn't have Apple TV Plus. And that's something we're hopping into now.
I believe I actually do have Paramount Plus, so I could take it. So is it currently out?
Yes.
Oh
my
my
gosh!
gosh! I gotta get.
Oh my gosh! It's out! Oh my gosh!
Because I mean, I played the Halo games, right? I mean, like
Yes.
it's
Yes.
cool story.
I also made John play the original Halo game too.
You made him?
Yeah, before
you
would
like point a gun to his head.
Anyways, that's all his
Okay, separate story.
That's a long story we don't have time for. If you want to know, please comment down below.
But that is something we are potentially considering. Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you for the recommendation.
And my brother from another mother writes, K-Man, I think the season finale should have shown a glimpse of the past. That would have been intriguing, yet didn't give anything away. Then over the next season, they could keep extending the past glimpse to show the full story of the entity's origin story.
Yeah, so this is the fun thing that it sounds like we are going to get more of in season 3. It sounds like it was budget constraints for season 2, but I'm hoping we are going to get that because I think Nick was saying in our previous comments video, or maybe it was Kyla was saying, now that Mother's in the kind of simulation tank, that's when she saw a lot of these. Yeah, Nick, that's when we see a lot of these things. So we might get that there. And then we might get other flashbacks through other means as well. But it sounds like at least the show writer is wanting to have more of that in season 3. So I'm hoping we will get these glimpses and things like that because they were insightful. But it's funny to think that those Earth flashbacks are the most expensive things they didn't have budget for, whereas all these alien planet things cost less money. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, or like a robot without a head for like no reason at all. It's just like, that's just extra VFX budget there.
That's true.
You don't have to read it, Kyle, if you don't want to.
Oh, I'm supposed to read the next one. Okay, because I just read K-Man, so I'll do Percy Garcia.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, no, I meant John.
Oh, did I?
No, it was Kyle.
I just read K-Man.
Oh,
my brother from another mother?
That's right. That's right. All right, Percy Garcia. Campion is raised by an android and is in love with an android. She dead now, though. Let's see. That temptation will lead him Okay, yeah.
We
She's also radioactive. Radioactive love. It's really hot love. Let's
Doesn't
see.
mean
That
dead.
temptation doesn't mean dead. That temptation will lead him into wanting to be an android. I'm thinking he's going to use number 7's processor that Mother rips out and never destroys, and possibly implant it in himself or use it to rebuild Brill a new body with the help of Hunter or grandmother, and then upload her profile from the tree of life she scribed on. So there's a lot that we don't know about as far as Vrill's kind of storyline, as far as what she wrote down about, her mom, and then also, how that's all going to resolve itself. I'm assuming she's dead, but she's also an android, and she's, a second generation of that person anyway, so she doesn't have to be dead.
I think
Also,
Mother
one thing
even
that
said something. Oh, go on. Yeah.
one thing that bugged me is Campion only copied a fraction of what Vril wrote down.
No! Get some more juju berries
Yeah,
or
he
whatever
needed
they
more,
are.
he needed
Come
more
on.
juju berry juice.
Yeah,
Put it
come
on
on,
there.
man. Gummy
Maybe he
berry
ran out of
juice,
paper.
bounce
I don't
around,
know.
get some more. Yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to oh, shoot, my lights. One other thing I wanted to
There we
mention,
go.
though, I believe Mother was talking to Campion after she killed the serpent or something like that. She's like, androids don't die. We just break down. Or something like that. I think she even said something like that too. And and that's just what makes me like, that's why I was interrupting John. Sorry, I know I do interrupt. I just can't help. I need to work on that. But
You didn't interrupt me.
but I just want, like, she's not dead. She's not dead. I mean, androids don't die.
Well,
She is
now-
only inert.
Oh, inert, big words. Now, it is interesting that she was in such a panic to get down her thoughts, though, if she was just going to go, out of operation.
Yeah.
Though. So it sounds like her memories, for whatever reason,
It's going to be used
were
for something,
going to be
hopefully.
broken down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
hopefully
sure it's going to be
for
used that little bit, but yeah, you would think that she would just be out of
something.
commission.
Maybe it's like
go ahead,
how to
Nick, you've got something.
maybe it's like how to rebuild the dome thing that was destroyed, the EMF barrier thing. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's all going to depend on what her mother did on Earth.
Oh,
that,
yeah. What was it? I can't remember what it was.
Well, she was
exactly.
saying she helped develop weapons that destroyed Earth, but we have no
Oh.
idea what those are. I mean, people are assuming, and we're kind of assuming that it was the necromancers, but we don't know that. We have no idea. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of questions in that whole circle of stuff, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, having, kind of chips and stuff implanted, we're assuming that she didn't destroy that thing out of number 7. We didn't see it get destroyed, so there is the possibility it's still there. But we don't know at this point if it's still there or not, or if it was a chip and that it can be used in something else. There was some type of weird life still left in the snake because it went up and became the tree that Marcus was formerly nailed to, now floating next to. So it got weird, but all right.
So
nothing less.
Apologies in advance if I ruin your name up. But Shina Elise tells us, I really love the foreshadowing around grandmother and her connection to the devolved merfolk back at the beginning of the season, when an image of a merman was briefly visible when father was calibrating grandmother.
And I didn't even see that until Nick had played a clip. And then I was like, oh, I completely missed. Did you see that, Kyle? Or
I
was
think
that
he was on that comment video.
I remember it, but that's the thing. I see a lot of shit in Raised by Wolves, right? And the thing is, it's like, well, that's okay, whatever. But then you got to remember, they're showing it to you all for a reason, man. You got to be a steel trap with this stuff. I guess I'm not equipped for that, but
And
Don't say that.
in that one video, we'll maybe link it in the description as well. It was one that a lot of people would reference, and one of the listeners had linked for us to view. They were interviewing the writer, and he was saying how he goes, ideally we have maybe 10 episodes, but we had 8, and 8 he felt like is a good amount, but there's no filler whatsoever. So everything on screen is important at all times because there's no filler room whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, but like Kyle was saying, everything, it's like, I can't blink because I'm going to miss something important. It's like everything's really important at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. This is me, right?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. So let's see if I can get this right. FM Aries.
That's what I would
I'm
say.
going to go with that.
Yeah.
If I get it completely wrong, I apologize. So one big question I've always had about this show, Why have we never seen any remnants of Kepler cities or towns, or even spacecrafts used for travel? Not even a building's foundational structure. It's never made any sense to me that humans on Kepler had such immense tech but no cities. That one being lived in a cave. I'm open to any and all suggestions. Yeah, I mean, the only things I can think of that we've seen is we had the initial building that Marcus, kind of got his initial powers from in season 1. And then we have the building that the cage goes down in season 2. But aside from that, most of the other things have been built by the people that have kind of come here.
Yeah, it's like all it's like all very like almost like religious sites, but no true civilization, right?
What if they live towards the core?
Oh,
this is like the book Time Machine where they start going.
Actually,
I mean,
great movie by the way.
Everything leads down, right? Like every time anything like it looks like whenever they're doing a ritual, it's around a hole. Their temples we know now are based around holes, and it's just that's where the warmth comes from too. Remember season 1 how like they would have to like stay by the holes just to stay warm kind of thing. So
maybe Sol isn't the sun, it's actually the inner core of the planet.
Oh, I was just telling that to
Nick
John.
Said that
Nick was saying that? Okay.
Yeah, so I told John this. I was going to bring this up in the prediction, the next video. But so I was looking at the logo because we had an amazing comment talking about the painting and how it was foreshadowing the upside down cross thing. And then I noticed, in that house and also on their uniforms, it's a red sun, right? Or it's a red whatever. And I'm like, oh, what if that's the core of the planet? And I was on the phone with John. I'm like, John, I think that symbol's the core. It's not the sun, it's the core.
Oh my god.
And it actually does look like that. And the cool thing is they've actually showed that to us at this point in the show. So it's not a far-reaching, crazy theory to Nick's, because we've seen it. And if we were to magically zoom out of what we saw at the end of season 1, like, those flames coming off the core, it actually does look like the logo for Soul. So maybe the soul and the entity are at the core. And it would completely
That's so
make
funny.
sense.
I was going to bring that up in the next video because we're going to do a prediction for season 3.
Oh, dang
I was going to throw it there, but I'm still going to throw it there anyways.
Well done, you guys. It's cool. I mean, if you guys scrub back, you'll see Nick just levitate off the seat like, oh, Kyle said it too. That's awesome.
Lisa Winter Cox. Wintler Cox. My bad. If you look at the scene where Mother is looking down the hole after Tally fell, you can see a scuff mark on the edge. To me, it looks like Tally was pulled in, which could mean she's dead. But it's more interesting if she isn't. I wonder if the semi-devolved have her in stasis. I hope we get 5 seasons. They keep hinting at the necromancers on Earth. This I gotta see. What happens when you run out of people to judge? Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Great
so
conclusion.
I had put this response down because I just trying to think back at some of these scenes. I'm like, do you guys remember this as far as,
Talia?
Tally and
yeah. So her doll is left by the pit, right? That's why
do you remember what it actually looked like? Do you remember like the scuff marks on the edge and all of this stuff?
Well, the scuff marks, I don't know, they could have also been there because we've seen the de-evolved creatures crawl out of there before, and we know the ship also crashed there before. There was like a lot of stuff happening around that one pit. We know Marcus was like hanging off for a little bit too. That was like the way they kept him like prisoner, right? Or no, he slept there overnight. No, maybe that was a different hole. But like a lot of stuff goes on around holes. But the very interesting thing about Talia, because Talia has been used multiple times in flashbacks now. When Campion was in the hut or whatever, and there was a de-evolved creature hanging above, and remember like the creepy vision where Talia's like in a hooded cloak and she's like crawling down and she's like, hang yourself, kill yourself, and then there's like a noose hanging above the thing, and then Talia is who Mother follows when she finds the pods, and then on the pod is Talia's doll. So like maybe they just like wake her out of cryo. It's like the Winter Soldier. They'll wake him up out of cryo to go do a mission, and I come back and we're gonna recite this code to you and put you under sleep. No, I don't know. But it's very
being
interesting.
A little kid to the Winter Soldier. That was nice.
But it could definitely be she's dead. and those are just visions, or she's alive and they're using her as a puppet.
And we haven't seen her in season 2, right? That was all season 1 stuff, right?
No, we have not seen her in season 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And, I
I mean,
mean,
she would be much older now too.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun just to throw out stuff just because it's weird and
Yeah.
it doesn't need to make sense. So maybe they don't mean anything else beyond that, just to be something fun and freaky to look
We
at.
want answers.
We needed to get Mother to the pod so, she can have this, this weird experience stuff, and that's how we get her there, but who knows?
Dang, she's
Yeah.
always not betrayed, but she's always like tricked by her love for her children.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's just jump to the next
Yeah.
one. I can lead down another hole.
All right, let's see. So I picked this one because I just thought this sounded funny. This is Naya saying, "We do sound like a community of crazy people to folks who haven't watched." And then laughing, and then a heart. And then Samara Mulugeta, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, "Exactly. Oh my God." And then Anna Antonio says, "Yeah, we sound like," wink, wink, like, yeah, because we're really just crazy. So I just thought it was kind of funny. One, I love the conversations on here. And yeah, again, like Kyle was saying, when you meet someone that's watched Raised by Wolves, you get excited because you get to talk with someone in real life about it. But otherwise, thankfully, we have all of you that we get to talk to online about this stuff.
Yes.
So, the Ridge 11 tells us, he asks us, is it just me that thinks Marcus could now be the sword from the prophecy? He definitely resembled a sword in that final scene. So yeah, like a lot of people were talking about him looking like St. Peter because he's crucified upside down. But I mean, also that is the symbol of like a sword, kind of like a hilt with the handguard and the blade. So, and then
I hadn't thought of that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were so concerned about him just floating upside down.
Right.
And then right after that, I saw the credits, and I knew it's going to be 2 years until I got answers. I was like, But,
Yep.
but yeah, he did resemble a sword, and we've heard a sword referenced a number of times, and different people have thought, oh, maybe the serpent's a sword, and, maybe not, or maybe it is. And if there is a sword, and they are going by this whole prophecy stuff, that, you know what, there is some symbolism they've referenced back to. Like, one of my favorite things that our listeners have pointed us towards is that whole painting reference of the tree and things like that from season 1 of Paul's real parents, when they were killed. And it's just cool. Like, they reference the symbolism, religious symbolism, and just
of the hanging upside down, or the cross upside down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him being the sword could be, great. Them trying to hint that, like, hey, he's actually going to be the sword in this prophecy stuff.
You know what's so funny? I hope we get an answer to this, because I feel like the readers from Game of Thrones, when they read the books, and spoiler alert, something happens to Jon Snow, where something happens repeatedly to him over and over again, and he's left on the snow, and the book readers still don't have an answer to that. But I hope we get answers so we're not left on a cliffhanger like that for many, many years. By the way, we're going to cover Game of Thrones stuff here, so subscribe, let us know.
And so King James, not King James, but King James. Nice. I thought episode 6 would have been a better finale. And I just put this down because I thought it was kind of funny. I can't remember if I had written a comment on this or we had talked about this in a previous episode. But yeah, I thought this was a great episode if it wasn't a season finale. It gave us good story content. It gave us good story beats, some answers, a few more questions and answers. But for this to be the last thing before we go into a long wait before season 3, it was a little bit of a bummer. But fun episode, though. Yeah.
Yes. Great episode.
Jennifer writes us, I think the fact that grandmother is continually called the strongest generic... Wait, I'm sorry, grandfather is continually called the strongest generic service model ever. Plus, seeing him in the robot Thunderdome is foreshadowing him to battle a much stronger android, and I think that android is going to be grandmother. Maybe. So, he'll feel responsible for all grandmother does that goes against his and mother's vision, because after all, he's the farmer that found and grew her botanitech back to full function. And he's the one who took the veil off grandmother and put it on mother. I thought that was a good observation. Because
and I think they meant father at the beginning.
Father,
right?
yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
father.
they meant father.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go on, Kyle. I'm sorry.
But no, yeah, I mean, but that's the real question. If he does eventually defeat grandmother, does he not then become grandfather? No, okay, sorry. But
he becomes the Godfather.
the
I'm gonna do this,
God.
you
There we
can't
go.
refuse.
The
Yeah,
God.
Yes.
I like that.
If he defeats
He'll
Soul,
put
he
some-
becomes the Godfather. No, no, but yeah, I thought
But
that
yeah,
was
yeah, you know what? We haven't really revisited the whole. They've hinted at him a number of times now. Boy, you're really tough. You just don't die. You're a tough generic model, and he's had that whole fight that he's going through. So it would make sense that they're slowly hinting and building him up to. It makes sense to us that he's able to withstand a very strong battle, but it hasn't happened yet. So you're right. That actually could be a good thing that they're leading up to, and it doesn't completely sound like nonsense because grandmother isn't a necromancer like mother, so she's not necessarily made for combat. So it would make more sense. Okay, it's an android versus android. He's a generic model. We don't necessarily know what her specialty is, but it seems like to us it's more devolving humans, which probably wouldn't be needed for an android fight or be as much use. So that'll be interesting if that does come to pass. I could definitely see that being the case, though.
yeah.
Sweet. This is the classic
let's
one.
see.
Come on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, so Matt something says, Mother was using the computer to unravel grandmother's plan, but it felt like she discovered the cripple was actually Kaiser Soze.
So, for all y'all who don't know what that last reference, this is a reference to a movie from like 1995 called The Usual
movie.
Suspects. It's a great
Yes.
movie. I only know about this because I literally watched it for the first time 2 days ago. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And I gotta say, and Matt, I just want to say, I feel that since we're so early on in the story arc, that I don't think Kaiser Soze has been revealed. It's more of like a Keaton scenario, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. So, we'll see. We'll see, right? But I don't think not yet. Not yet.
Sweet. Last two guys. Woohoo!
Oh yeah, the last two. All right, here we go. I love this name. Daniel Moynihan comes at us with, I have so many questions, as do we all, about the show, but I wonder why the Trust computer used that chemical warfare mouse to turn Paul into some type of reptilian creature. How could the Trust be related to the same plan grandmother has? Are they connected somehow? It's a good question. And that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, why?
Their goals are, right? Their goals are to protect humanity, right?
Oh, they come from the same directive, yes.
So, okay, I kind of remember before when grandmother had mother in the pod or something, she mentioned something about like altering her course directive or altering something.
Yes.
Where maybe she like altered it in a way of like the way humans survive is by de-evolving them or something. She said it with like that big eyes and creepy and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh, she altered something and it could have been her programming or something like that. And anyways.
That's true.
Did she say that? I was too busy watching the...
I think so, because I think I even almost quoted her in our thumbnail. I think I put like alter directive or something. I can't remember now. I gotta pull it up. But correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Remember Kyle or no?
What's up?
Do you remember that or no?
I remember that
something
part, but I
about
don't.
altering, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I remember that part, but sorry if you guys heard that.
That's fine.
Was that you?
No, she was
No, I'm
letting out the
joking.
dogs.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, well, like I remember that, but in terms of like its deeper portent, no. I did again. I have the problem of like, that was interesting, and then just like moving along, like just it's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad with
that's
the series
awesome.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with the Trust, which was a really fun idea for me, and I'm kind of sad it's not in the mix anymore. It's just an interesting choice. All right, I'm going to get rid of these people by turning them into snake pods and have them turn into snakes. Like, that's a weird choice for a computer to make. So I'm not sure if that's a regular use of chemical warfare, so to speak, as far as in that world. We never really got much exposure to that. But yeah, it's kind of a weird way they were going about it. But maybe that's standard stuff for them. I don't know. Well, I don't know enough about that world.
You would think like gas or a bomb would do just as well if you just want to get rid of them.
Yeah. So that's a little bit interesting. All right. So last but not least, we have Sarah Judy. Please read my comment. Three exclamation points.
We're reading it.
It's happening right now.
No, everyone's going to say that.
Oh no. Oh no.
we let one person get away with it. Now it's like, I'm just kidding.
So I think the sea creatures are the humans who used to inhabit the planet, but grandmother devolved them. That is why they were drawn toward the sound of the crying baby. Number 7 was trying to shoot at the creatures in the water that were near the surface. Yeah, number 7 shooting at the water, that's one of the big things that we're not sure about. Like, was it shooting in camping, just a bad shot, or was it shooting at the water? Was it trying to tell camping? Something like that's
so
a big
tough.
thing that it might be a while before we get an answer on that. And that is
I might have an answer.
Uh-oh.
He had so many good opportunities to kill him.
He
Campion.
did.
He
Yeah.
could have. I mean, the way he just blasted Mother
Okay.
away, like one little blast radius could have wiped him out. Like
Yeah.
if he really, if his main goal was to just kill him and destroy him or whatever, it could have been done so quickly. He had the air power. He could have just been like the ground, and you would have, if you really want him gone. Why did he shoot the water? Maybe he's like, don't go in there. You know what I mean? Like he's like trying to like Morse code it. I don't know. But
Yeah,
I just think like he would have killed them. He would have killed them.
And that was something I was thinking when number 7 was chasing Campion through the forestry. It's like, there's some foliage cover over, canopy cover, but not that much. I feel like he could zap him right now if he wanted to, and he
He had
didn't.
enough
So
time
it's
to
like,
bury a robot.
So like maybe I wasn't looking at the scene properly, but it looked like that the foliage was dying just behind Campion.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
like number 7 was doing like some sort of weird like heat ray or like something.
Oh, maybe
But I don't know.
If
That
he
that
was
might have
able
been a
to
shadow.
bury a
and
body. He buried a body. Like he had enough
Yeah.
time to just like, it's like,
That's
come
true.
on, there was time.
And those stones looked heavy too, so I don't know. And Campion's like he's not the strongest, so I don't know.
Oh, don't say that about our boy Campion.
Hey,
I'm
That's
kidding.
true. That's true. Whoa, I know. Shots fired. I'm sorry.
He's immune to radiation.
Yeah.
yeah.
Spider-Man
He's
vibes
strong
over
in
here.
other ways,
Radioactive
all right?
spider.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let us know down below if you have other questions, other theories about the show. We've had a lot of fun going through these comments and just seeing what you all have thoughts on. We're going to be covering other shows coming up. We're going to be covering Severance and probably Black Lotus, which is a Blade Runner animated series. Looks really, really cool. Some really cool graphics and story beats. So check out AsArt.space for all the audio and video links. Check out Pecos with a Zero. He's going to be doing some artwork that may be coming to AsArt as a shirt very soon in Raised by Wolf style. So check that out. Thank you very much for watching and go on this journey with us. And we'll see you on the next AsArt.
Milk everywhere.
No. Oh god. Always gotta ruin it.